Yes, people. Welcome back to, I was going to say another edition, but it's kind of like a spin off, but a new show. The Manchester United Chelsea Tottenham show is no more. Man United pod, Ballers at the Bridge pod, talking that Tottenham talk pod is no longer no more. It is now the Manchester United Tottenham podcast. So the Man United podcast meets the Talking That Tottenham Talk podcast, where we discuss all things Manchester United, discuss all things Tottenham Hotspur. In before you lot in the chat go, oh, flawless, you and your side thing, blah blah blah. Flawless is a Spurs fan, all this rubbish. I know someone gonna say that in the cut already, but big up to everyone that's locked in. Please make sure, whether you're watching live right now or watching this back after the live, salute to you either way. Hit that like button on the video. Make sure you do that. Hit that like button on the video. Share across all the socials at That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV, and subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well. Hit that notification bell too. Big up to everyone who joined over from the raid, from the United Chelsea show, Man United pod, Ballers at the Bridge. But in regards to Spurs, a lot going on, as always. Anjin versus Angel is just a weekly thing. Every day that ends in Y. As Spurs concede late in the Europa League, 2-2 draw at home to Roma. As for Manchester United winning in the Champions League, I wish winning in the Europa League, 3-2 against Bodo Glimt, but big chances galore missed. Terrible performance in the first half, but first win for Amorim in his first European game and first win in his first game at Old Trafford as well. But in regards to the show, of course, it's going to be three hosts alongside myself. One of them couldn't make it. Well, actually, yeah, one of them will be here, but two of them are here already. Of course, you got the OG, the original, when it comes to Jez, who is there in the building. And then the second co-host, who is, what can I say? Just a whirlwind of craziness. That's one thing. There is never, ever a dull moment with him. You never know what he's going to say at any moment in time, and that fits right here. So I'm gonna welcome my like Jez, my like Jacob, United Spurs of America in the building. What you man telling me, man? What's good, Jacob? You good?
I feel like I'm really predictable. I'm never saying things that are outlandish. What? Me? No way. But big up Flawless. Big up Jez, my man. I don't even know. I guess we got to talk about Tottenham and conceding a goal in the 91st minute, but I don't want to.
We'll get to that. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to that. Jez, what are you saying? You blessed? I don't know if Jez is there.
All right, big up everybody. Everybody in the cut.
Kendrick Lamar bodied that tune. He bodied that tune. That's one of them ones. Yeah. He really did. He bodied that tune. He
bodied it so much, apparently it's getting taken to court. So
yeah, serious. There you go.
The first rapper to ever sue over some rap beef. Don't make me talk about it.
Rap beef is crazy.
Imagine crazy, Tupac was like, you know what? Who shot you? I'm taking you to court over that because you shot me. It's kind of weird.
Very, very it's just soft and just ridiculous, yo. And you took it there, man. You wanted to talk about this man's wife and his kid and but now you all right, cool. But yeah, big up to Slims. Valentino says, let's go. Big up to Warrior J as well. And he's been kind enough to put some of Postecoglou's quotes in the comment section as well. Big up my guy, Duncy. Here already calling me a Spurs fan. You already know. Big up to Warrior J. Again, shouts to everyone that's tapped in. Make sure you share out across all socials and subscribe to the United Spurs of America as well. I need to add Jacob's channel into the description underneath, which I will do. I'm going to add it to the title in a second, but make sure you subscribe to United Spurs of America. Postecoglou saying we should have killed it off in the second half, and at 2-1, you're always keeping them in the game. Disappointed we didn't see out the game, but we're still in a decent position. So we'll go to it anyway. Jacob, we'll start with you. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Roma 2, late equaliser. Chances galore for both sides I've seen from the highlights, but your thoughts on conceding the goal late and the game overall?
Yeah, for me, it just reminds me of kind of the same story we've always seen. It's just 45 minutes of good, another 45 minutes of I don't know what the hell we're doing kind of a situation. And sometimes it's the first half that we look like the very clueless bums, and sometimes it's the second half. And it wasn't as bad as, say, the second half versus Brighton. However, it feels just as bad because you kind of start getting to a point where you're like, all right, I guess we're just going to kind of do this until the game's over. It just seemed like no one really wanted to grab it. They were trying, we were trying, no one with really any stability in the midfield, stability in the build-up play. It just seemed kind of clunky all over. And, to concede a goal like that, I look at a lot of different people and kind of blame him for switching off. Basuma effectively boxing out Vicario, which I don't understand. We're not playing basketball. You're not trying to get a last-second rebound. Just mark a man. How about that? Maybe someone in and around the 6-yard box would be preferable. But instead, he's boxing out Vicario, which I just don't understand the rationale there. And there was another quote that I think. What's that?
You mean Foster?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is a guy that I said I'm fearful, but I also, you know, give him 2 games, give him the Europa, give him the Premier League match, let's see what he can do. And I don't really think he's at fault, like in a large part for either one of those goals. I kind of see it as the team in front of him was failing him, and it was always going to be that because Vicario's kept us in games, he's kept us alive, even in the losses. Because a lot of those losses that we did lose could have been a lot worse. And even Fraser Forster this year had another a match where it could have been out of hand, but he kept us in it and we ended up winning. I can't remember if that was Coventry or if that was another team, but it was one of the. So Forster's not bad by any means. So it's like, you know, you want to look at these excuses of injuries, referee, blah, blah, blah. For me, the players just didn't want it enough. They weren't turned on for the full 90. And it's really weird because Basuma normally would give you a good 45 minutes. And for him to, that's kind of where my most of my attention went on that goal concession. So again, it's just a problem that's indicative of issues that we've had: mentality, seeing out games, capitalizing on the moments in which we do. We seem to want it in the first half, and then in the second half, it just kind of died off. Like Ange saying that we're still in a decent position, sure, but we're right there at the top of the playoff. If I'm not mistaken, 9 through whatever is the folks who have to play into the tournament.
Yeah,
so
the playoff. Yeah, that's it.
After you win 3 in a row, you're kind of thinking, well, we should be able to go ahead and qualify for automatic promotion in this. And it's kind of, then we lost, now we drew. Again, these were 2 of the most difficult fixtures, Galatasaray and Roma, looking at it. But obviously this is before Roma showed that they're not that quality of a side this year. Then they sacked their manager. Then they got Claudio Ranieri. When they pulled him up, I was like, that guy, it took me a second because I'd erased him from my database because he retired, so it's over. I don't need to worry about that bald glasses Leicester City fraud anymore.
Why you got so much vim for Ranieri? What did Ranieri do? Oh, is it because he beat you to a league title?
That's my league title, that bastard.
Is that what it was? Okay, it just clicked as you said.
So this motherfucker's just he retires, then he's like, "Oh, did I play for you before? Sure, I'll manage. I'll help be your liaison manager." Weird situations, and of course, if your manager's in prison, you want to play Tottenham. If your manager just got sacked, you want to play Tottenham. If your manager is retired, unretired, he's kind of in between vacations, and he said, "Sure, I'll manage a football team in the interim." You want to play Tottenham. If you haven't gotten a win, you want to play Tottenham. If you haven't gotten a win away from home, you want to play. These are things that we help. We are Robin Hood, and I hate it. I don't like fuck you, poor people. I'm poor too. I want the money. But instead, we're dead set on remaining right where we are. We never want to just like dog, and it's very frustrating. But you can't blame, like, as much as I love blaming Levy and the club for all of our problems, you know, the head honcho is always going to get the most blame. Shit rolls downhill at the end of the day. But you can't really, like, Forrester, the backup for Vicario, wasn't awful. Dragusin and Davies just held Man City to a clean sheet, and we don't even keep clean sheets. That's not something we do. So it's you know, I don't really see this on Ange, but of course they asking him shit after the match and he's saying stuff and they're going to be like, this fat Aussie bastard said he doesn't want to win. And he didn't, but that's what they're going to extrapolate from a lot of the quotes. It's just another day. You can't get used to the good here at Tottenham Hotspur. And Jez, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, as soon as you're like, you know what? I'm going to start banging my chest because I'm that dude. It's like, oh, who's that little brother that just kicked you and now you're crying because your shin hurts? That's us. We can't ever just build, you know. That 5
It's
game.
literally,
I'm
literally
going
win
to
one,
ramble
draw
on.
one, lose.
Interrupt me. Someone interrupt me.
Nah, it's cool. Nah, it's literally, this is what we're here for, is to hear about Spurs and let you get things off your chest. That's why I didn't interrupt. I was just
I
agreeing with
haven't
you.
even
Literally.
gone live. I haven't spoken. This is literally the first I've spoken about it since it happened because it was Thanksgiving in America and I didn't do any
I hope you had a blessed
streaming
Thanksgiving,
yesterday.
man. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, though, for real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
It was great.
you like literally win one, draw one, lose one. Like literally, that is like the Spurs battle. Just what you saying? Because I seen you. Obviously, you was in the group chat criticizing Son for a couple missed chances, but thoughts on conceding late, thoughts on the game as well.
Bro, I'll be honest. I think we guys. I'll be honest. I think we have a severe case of CTE in our football club. Like it's just as simple as that. Like even for that late goal at the end there, 3 players at the back post. Like come on, bro. Like all you because I think if we clear that corner at the end properly, we actually go on to win the game. But despite all that, even if we win that game, I feel like, and this is where I'm kind of different to people, where we could have won that game 2-1, and I still would have gone there and had the same criticism of how I felt even after the 2-2. It wasn't too different. Like yesterday, it wasn't anger, or it wasn't like, oh, I'm fuming. It was more like frustration and not frustration. What's the word? Annoyed. There you go. Annoyed was the word, because I felt this was the type of game where, yeah, Roma have a new manager coming in, new manager bounce and all that, and of course it had to be against Tottenham in Europa. But these guys weren't that good. Like they were good. Like they were better than I've seen them prior coming into this. But it wasn't like to a point where I felt like they got us right. That was awful. That was awful. But this one, we could have. I was more mad about that we didn't take over our opportunities like we should have taken them. Like obviously I talk about Sonny, like that one miss over the bar, and somebody made a good point that I talked to with, like if that was Timo Werner, the whole timeline would have slated him. So I'm just trying to keep the same energy. Obviously, that doesn't mean that I have all of a sudden like some Sun agenda or anything like that. But these are the type of moments to talk about. Is that if you put the third goal in the back of the net, we're gonna sit off. People say Ange doesn't sit off. We definitely sit off after the third goal, because I felt at 2-1, it never was secured. You saw Roma getting a couple of like goals here and there. To be honest, I thought the defense was actually quite high, to be honest, considering this is like the second string defense, bar thorough. But I've been thinking about this for the season and how the inconsistency that we've been talking about. Obviously, there's some Ange quote which I think Roger J has put in, which I will also talk about.
Yeah, that's cool. So about this, he says, Postecoglou asked about improving set piece defending. I think that's the third goal we've conceded from a set piece in about 20 games. I don't really know what to say about that. He went on to say, Postecoglou is asked for the 75th time whether he will be pragmatic in a match. Look, I don't know how many ways I can say this. I understand it. Look, there's plenty of room for pragmatism in walks. So basically saying I'm sticking to my principles. Forget what you lot are talking about. But go on,
How many times you got to tell a blind motherfucker look before they start looking? This damn media, it's always they're just poking. They're just poking the bear. Let's see if we can make him roar. You just poke. He's like, look, motherfucker, I understand. I heard you the first 100,000 times. But what Spurs fans are going to do, they're going to go, oh, when Ange responded to this question, and I don't like the words he chose. Shut the fuck up. Sorry. This is why I've been so detached from online communities. Because it's another week.
This is why I brought you here, is for this. We want the I know you unfiltered. You don't know what filtered is. So this is why I brought you here. Is to get things off your chest. I want to hear from you. Legit.
But you know what?
Always gonna fucking take what he says and pick it apart and use these quotes to extrapolate. And they always forget that there's a dude literally on the other side of the camera that his job is to get something that does exactly what it's doing. Rile you up, make you feel things, and now you're clicking, now you're reading, now you're retweeting what he said. And guess who got that quote? Me, the guy, the fucking shitstigator. That's me, Mr. Media. I worked in the media. I've seen it. And I worked for one of the biggest broadcasting syndicates in America. And I know how they lead. If it bleeds, it leads. If it fucking more shock value, the more that they want to push it. The more that, whereas, oh, the feel good story, we'll give you, 45 seconds before we go to commercial break at the very end of the last block. But what we're going to lead with, infant hit by a car and then set ablaze by the traveling circus wrecked and then they caught on fire, and they'd rather talk about that kind of thing rather than the guy who saved all of them. And it's like, that's what Ange is trying to do. He's trying to save us from our own self, and we're like, fuck you, don't pull me out of this car, you're not a fireman. Weirdos.
I know, but the funniest thing about it was especially the question about the him of playing football. I'll be honest, I think he was just trying to prove a point. Because I had a conversation earlier with Charles Eleanor, and you know how Eleanor feels about how sometimes he should be a bit more adaptable, and even she said even though she feels that way, she said when we had the conversation how I don't think Ange's been as one-way minded football as people make it out to be. Like it's like it's Jacob probably knows what I'm talking about here, but it's like people carrying the narrative from last season going into this season and think this first team looks exactly the same like last season. Yeah, we have to one win, one loss, one win, one loss. But when you actually look at from a play, you can actually see from a tactical standpoint how I can see a lot of changes from last season. How it isn't totally just attacking football. We have to go out there and get a goal. No, it's actually more structured, even with the way we defend this season. I don't think necessarily we've been bad defensively. I've been one of the few people who actually defended the manager in terms of our defense this season. Have we conceded sloppy goals? Yes. Have we conceded goals like where we end up dropping points? Yes. But I don't claim that necessarily to our let's say it this way. I don't claim it down to the manager doesn't coach defending anything like a narrative that I've seen before. I just feel like this season we just lack consistency just everywhere. Like I've been saying this yesterday when I had conversations about it. I think outside Kulusevski, you can argue Solanke, Sarr recently, and probably Van der Ven, who has really been at least consistent 7 out of 10 throughout the season. So when you have a team that is not consistent, when you have a team of a lot of players who not consistently perform throughout the games, or one day they perform like 7, 8, 9, 10, etc., but then the next game they're dropping like 5 and 4s and lower, of course you're going to be inconsistent. And I feel like this is where I'm looking at the players showing me some sort of level of consistency from an individual standpoint. I feel like if we were better in that aspect, we would be getting also a lot more positive results. Even some of the losses in the league that turned into losses, we could have turned them into draws, because I feel like at times when things don't go our way, it seems like there's not the willingness to fight. That's why I was kind of happy yesterday how Kulusevski started off the game slow, but he started getting the groove into the game, especially after Roma got the equaliser at 1-1. And I feel like this is where you needed a couple other guys also to start stepping up their game. It's just that simple. Like I always talk about, if the better players at Tottenham Hotspur step up, we win games. It's as simple as that. But I feel like a lot of this season has been the better players not stepping up to a certain level, in my opinion. So I just look at it from this season perspective, where
a damn hat trick too. So
that's the thing. Is like, and I call him BCM Bandit, bro. Big chances missed Bandit, and I love Solanke, but it's just the lack of killer. Because this is literally the.
But he does the anime celebrations, Jez.
Hey man, I'm an anime fan too, so I love them.
Yeah, but he did all that, and
yeah, man. But look, man,
of the week ones.
But look, man. But I just think this team, we can clearly, because for me, where I look at it from this team is that I don't think necessarily we've even been bad this season. I really don't think so. It's just that this team is just failing to show us the higher level to a consistent level, and I feel like until we can have either players showing up to that level, I don't think we're just not going to be there. Because I don't think a lot of is there aspects of Ange coaching where I believe he can do better. Like I feel sometimes how one way we are our attacking, how we try to be overly using the wide areas to attack. Sometimes maybe trying to switch it up by playing a little bit through the middle. Make players from the midfield make runs into just to disturb the opposition defensive line, just to be a bit more different to how we attack. But I think when you go into the season, a lot of people didn't have us. Which is the crazy part about it. It's like a lot of people didn't have us rated high going into the season. Yet a lot of people expect us. yo, just why Spurs not in the top 4? Well, you guys didn't even thought we was even going to be in the top 4. You guys thought we were going to finish like a lot of people. There were even a couple of people that thought like Spurs were going to finish in 8th and lower this season. So it's kind of like, for me, it's more about like one time is Spurs should be doing there and be there, but then you guys, then the other time is we're not that good and your team is not that good. You shouldn't even be there. So it's kind of like, what is it then really and truly? And I feel like it's just a process at this moment in time where I think we just have to just go through it. Like people think that we are out here sitting like 14th in the table, 15th sitting with West Ham and that. Like so
3 points away from title contenders.
Which is the funny part, because like which is the annoying part of this season. If you beat Ipswich or you beat at least one of Ipswich or Palace, you're sitting with Arsenal and Chelsea all of a sudden, and the perception of the season is completely different. So I don't even think we've been as bad as it's been. Which was just an indictment of how much I just don't rate the Premier League. We own 6 wins, and 5 losses and 1 draw, and we are 6th in the table, 3 points off 3rd. This is how bad this league is. So for me, we can have these inconsistencies, but we can still end up finishing still in a top 6 place. So, and this was my expectation going into the season. I put it out there in one of my tweets. If we can make quarterfinals and further in Europa and in one of Carabao Cup and FA Cup, and be finishing between 5th and 6th, I think that's a good season. Obviously I want to win a trophy. And I look at the Europa League. I'm sorry, man. It's so annoying that we have this inconsistency, because I feel like the Europa League is right there to crap. I think really, if we can really make a run, if there's a time to win a European trophy, it's now. Because I feel like this is one of the times where I feel like the Europa League has been at the weakest. Like, look at last season. You had Leverkusen in there. You had, I think West Ham was still in there. You had Liverpool in there. That was a hard-ass Europa League. Atalanta you had in there.
And you had teams dropping down as well.
Teams dropping down as well. Now you have Roma. You have Roma, Galatasaray, Lazio. Like, respectfully, like, these teams are good. To a degree, I've watched some of the teams, but it's not
special. I get the point you're making. Yeah, they're not. They're not anything special.
They're not to a point where I don't believe Spurs can't beat them in the 2-legged games. But it's just because we have these inconsistencies where I have this fear where we might get knocked out because of this, because we don't have these players who consistently perform.
Bro, if we can't see out a point win lead versus Roma, how are we supposed to do that versus Lazio, Frankfurt, Bilbao, any of these clubs?
And this is my issue, and this is so frustrating, Jacob. Like, because again, the opportunity is right there. It really is, and this is where I say, like, to me, I don't think a lot of coaching can be done to make that happen, because I think a lot of people would like to say, okay, then Ange can go and be a bit more defensively. Then we concede. We're not going to score them. Like,
I mean, relying on defenders that actually aren't that great at defending, by attacking so heavily, you alleviate a lot of the defensive pressure that would be put on Dragusin and Davies' shoulders if we were to be more pragmatic. So, in regards to Ange in the final third, like something that you were touching on earlier that I wanted to speak on, we do look a lot different. Last year, there was so much of this horseshoe hotspur in the final third where we trying to figure it out. We're just fucking shuffling, just working it like a U. The horseshoe hotspur is what I was calling it, and it was pissing me off because
before you carry on, what's fantastic? Lex made that point on the Yardman show, and the fact that you man made the same point in such a different manner is hilarious, because you said horseshoe hotspur, and he said a U back. What did he say? It was a you a fuckery or something like that. So that's my mind. But carry on.
It's just when your attackers are being clueless, no one's making incisive runs, or no one's trying to pass to those incisive runs. And it really, every team does it when they're having a lack of creativity in the final third. And we showed a lot of that last year, whereas this year we seem to, try to play more direct, even though, like Jez says, sometimes it's heavily on the right. I just think that's because Kulu drifts that way, and we run through Kulu. Whatever he does, he plays well. We're going to do all right. But he can only do so much. He's got to have an accompanying cast. But I thought yesterday he did start playing into the game very well. Some of those dribbles, bro, he looks like fucking Ginola out there. Just like some of those dribbles, not like the whole Ginola package, but I'm talking about middle of the park, tight areas, 2-3 men. You got to woo. I ain't talking Diddy. I'm talking Gascoigne type shit. You know what I mean? And so it's
Gascoigne type thing. Explain that one for me. Hit me with that. What is that? What does that mean?
Gascoigne, you know what I mean? He'd be moving and weaving, baby. He'd be doing his thing.
There you go, man.
Carry on, man. Carry on, man.
I just, you know, Kulusevski for me has been our best player all season. Kulusevski for me has been our most consistent player. Even his worst performances when we've had our worst was Crystal Palace, was probably the second half versus Brighton. But again, availability sometimes is your best ability, but he's at least been consistent. And when we do have really good games, he's having a great game. When we have bad games, he's still one of our best players in those games. So it's like, really, for a guy, for me, who admittedly, I was pretty much like, sell him, see whatever you can get for him. He's clearly not an Ange winger. Ange said, we tried him in the false nine in the preseason a little bit to see what that looked like. And it was like, oh, okay. But again, you need more guys. He's having a lot of quotes lately, Kulusevski, where it almost seems like he's taking shots at the players' mentality, the locker room mentality, the ethos of the club, because he's saying, we need to be winners. We're playing like a bunch of losers. And that's the same shit I say on my YouTube channel. So it's like, thank you, Kulu. Call these fucking players out. We have no leaders. That inconsistency, he's like, sure, Ange can take the blame for that all he wants. But at the end of the day, we're the ones kicking the ball. So we got to be consistent. And it's like,
you know what,
finally.
you know what I like, though?
And I love Son, but Son doesn't do that. Son doesn't come out. He just says, oh, yeah, you know, we got to be better or whatever. Kulusevski sounds like a leader. Sounds like a dude pissed off with the inconsistencies. Sounds like every Tottenham fan. And I think that he genuinely loves this club. Man, sorry, Jez, what were you going to say?
I agree, 100% agree with you. And I think this is why I don't feel any sort of whim about currently the manager at this moment in time, because I like the fact because he came out after Ipswich saying how he needs to take responsibility. But this is the first time in a very long time with Kulusevski where I look at a player who came out and said, yeah, like the manager can take all the responsibility he wants, but we also as players have to go and step up. When was the last time a Tottenham player ever said that? Under any manager?
I don't remember Kane ever saying that.
Kane is the worst type of leader. People wanted him to be captain if he would have stayed. That guy is one of the worst leaders, by the way. But it's not even a shot. He's not that type of personality to be.
Bro, he was a part of the leadership group that's going in camera with Dave the Predator Portnoy talking about, you guys, he's Tottenham, you never win anything, right? And you're like, no, we don't. Let's make fun of us some more. You losers.
Allegedly, people with the Dave Portnoy thing, go on, carry it as you will.
Yeah,
oh yeah, allegedly. I allegedly am a big game hunter, but I have a fucking corpse hanging on my wall. Allegedly shot him. Okay.
But it's I like the reflection that the reflection that is happening at the football club. The people can look at themselves and say, you know what, this is not good enough in ourselves. Like, I feel like a lot of times when shit don't go right, everybody just happens to be quiet. Everybody looks to point the finger at, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. But this time around, this season, it feels like everybody's kind of like aware, even though not everybody speaks up. At least it seems to be a sense of people are aware in the team that, like this isn't really good enough. Everybody needs to do better. And I feel like for me, it's a right step in the right direction. This is how dumb bad Tottenham has just been at this stage for the last few years. Like, people are asking, bro, like, we are not consistent. We're not consistent. Motherfucker, we haven't been consistent since Pochettino. Like, when was the last time the football club has ever been consistent at everything? People asking about Ange's project. When was the last time any sort of project at Tottenham was successful? I know which one. It was the stadium project. That was the last project that was successful at Tottenham. So
the hotel project's going good. I heard they got.
I heard about the mini golf as well.
Business is booming. A lot of those projects, but first team football projects, that's another story.
Yeah, I mean,
Redknapp maybe.
To be fair, that's the least important. The football part's the least important thing, to be honest. Like, when you can go F1 under the stadium. I heard the F1 is lit though. I need to go and whistle though. But
that sounds great. When I go, I'm doing all the shit that all the Spurs fans hate about us. I'm walking on the ceiling. I'm going underneath the building and driving circles. I'm doing it all. I'm putting 5-star on Yelp. I don't give a damn, baby.
I'm saying, give me that special accommodation, man. Come on, man. Nah,
Bro,
but
if I meet Daniel Levy, it's over. Because one of my American friends, he's gone over there about 2-3 times now, and he did a tour of the stadium the first time he went. He met Levy. Levy was just walking around, was just like, "Oh, hey, everybody," and he got him to say like, subscribe to his. She's like, subscribe to Mile High Hotspur or whatever. And
that
everyone-
sounds
bro,
brilliant, man.
you should have seen the amount of people that's in his comments. You brown envelope motherfucker, you. Oh, they were on his ass.
Bro, these people are so mad. Like I've seen people in the fan base go mad. Like, you know that Twitter girl, like
I'm
Davina.
gonna turn my light on, but I can still hear you.
Like
Yeah.
there's like some girl there's some girl on Twitter like called Davina Tottenham fan, and people were calling her out saying, damn these content creators who are getting tickets from the football club to attend football matches. Bro, she literally had to put pictures of her as a baby when she has a Tottenham shirt on.
I did see that popped up on my
No,
timeline.
they said she gets a crazy Davina, whatever. I see her on Twitter always like quote tweeting some obnoxious like, or she's posting a photo of like what people send her, bro. Tottenham fans have a problem. They need to get fucking smacked.
That's just fans in general. They go too far.
Yeah.
You know,
Bro, they're like
it's the maddest thing. It's like
talking about her ethnicity or culture, where she needs to go, and like, bro, outlandish.
Jacob said it the best, man. Like the club is the fan base is just a lot of crybabies. Like they're whine about how we don't have a
we
project.
Should act like Real Madrid, and then when we don't, they're like, but we're so shit, we could never be Real Madrid. Goddamn fireworks.
And even then it's like, and of course, like, of course, man. I know there's expectations, but obviously, if all we as Tottenham fans at the end of the day want is success. We want to win trophies. We want to see the team do well. But so it's the section of the crybabies that I'm talking about. Is that how every little thing they go mad about. Every little thing, like shit. Like I'm seeing people like calling. I can't wait for this Creek. I can't wait for this Creek/Australian fat bastard to leave the football club. And then I've seen the same person say, "I want Eddie Howe at the football club on Graham Potter." And I'm like, okay.
The same people that are saying Ange are clueless. They said, bro, actual content creators. I'm not naming any names. I'm not trying to start drama.
Before you go there, Jacob, before you go there, just hold up 1 second. Big up everyone that's tapped in. Over 40 of you lot locked in. Clearly enjoying the show. This shit just about to get good, people. You know what I'm saying? Even better, I should say. So make sure you run up the like scales up to 40 likes, because I know Jacob's thoughts and Jez's thoughts on Ange versus Ange out, which is always a great topic to talk about. So let's get us up to 40 likes. Big up to everyone in the chat. And make sure you subscribe to United Spurs of America as well. Make sure you do so. So yeah, Jacob, your thoughts on that?
There's a certain content creator you've even had on your channel at one point. Pretty bigger, you know, very good guy. Love the guy. Again, that's why I'm not trying to shoot shots here, but I will attack the opinion. And it is. I have a screenshot of them saying, I would prefer Ryan Mason at this point. Ange is such a clueless bozo. Something to that effect. And I said, okay, Ryan Mason, I'm screenshotting that. Because like, when you say Graham Potter, it's like, okay, people do crack cocaine. I understand. When you say, who else is the other unemployed bastard? Sam Allardyce. Oh, give me Sam Allardyce. All right, dude, I've seen Requiem for a Dream. I know heroin addiction's a problem, so I forgive you. But when you say Ryan Mason, there's no drug known to mankind that can legitimately make a human being think Ryan Mason is better fit for this job than anybody. Like, I don't know what to tell that individual, but there's talking about Ryan Mason over Ange Postecoglou. Yeah, Sam Allardyce will set us up better. I'm sure he'll set us up to not get relegated. That's what he's known for. He's like, I'm gonna make sure we don't get relegated this season. That's my job, boys. And it's like, all right, you fucking barrel-chested bastard. I don't want him leading my club. I'm sorry. That's like expectations in the Graham Potter. Where the fuck has he been since Chelsea got rid of his phony ass?
Yeah, Graham Potter's not the one for you, look. Graham Potter's not the one.
Bro's probably in a fucking book reading club and shit right now. And we're talking about, bring him into our competitive. Shut up.
See, Graham Potter. Thing, though. But that's the thing right there, though. Like, you're saying he's not the one, and it's like, I'm asking the question, like, who is the Tottenham manager that everybody thinks that you are that manager who's going. Who is that manager?
Well, Jez, we got the special one. He never not wins a trophy. That didn't work.
We had this serial winner, Antonio Conte at the football club.
He always wins. He wins also wherever he goes.
He always wins wherever he goes, man. So you had the young manager. You had the Nuno, where you had the situation where you just had to take him. You had the serial winner, and now you get somebody. We had two serial winners.
And the best striker in the world, the most lethal duo in the Premier League history.
And exactly, we still couldn't do shit. So for me, it's like, I'm asking, like, so when I see people, like, if Ange was sitting here like 14, 15 in the table, this stage of the season, and in the Europa League, it doesn't look great. All these arguments, for me, make more sense. Mm-hmm. But at this moment in time, people are acting like we have this horrendous season. We're going to get relegated. We're not going to even make it into the next stage of the Europa League. I prefer top 8, and I still think we can top 8 with the fixtures that we have still left. But people are asking, he's not fit for the job. Who the fuck is fit for the job? Because we tried every sort of manager that we could have gone to try and make something happen at Tottenham. But guess what? Everybody ironically had around similar times of length at being at the football club, and all of them get served. It's been the same way, and I feel like this is where obviously I'm gonna give my opinion about the unsure. Me personally, if people are unsure, for me that is what it is, man. I already learned to just ignore these people. I just don't care, to be honest. Like, if this is your opinion, cool, man. That's your opinion. But where my opinion currently is where I'm in the stage where, unless it goes super bad somehow this season, I don't see necessarily a change of a manager is gonna do what people think it's gonna do. Like,
it's not gonna do shit. I've got my crystal ball ready. Spoiler alert. No, I looked into the future. Ain't shit changed but the damn name on the fucking front door of the manager office.
See, and I mean, shit. At the start of the season, I've seen people say Spurs can win a treble, but that's for another different conversation. And know that, this is where I'm kind of, and this is where I'm like,
the revisionist history. Now they're like, oh, imagine Conte if he had these defenders. Shut the fuck up. He did.
Yeah, bro. Most of them are still here. There's only Van de Ven he didn't, and Adore he didn't have. But then he had fucking Perisic who he signed himself. Yeah, and Dragusin as well. Yeah, but Dragusin barely plays anyway. But yeah, where I'm just that I'm willing to sit here and willing to go through these inconsistencies this season, because one, I do think the team just has to get a bit stronger. Because at the end of the day, going into the season, I didn't rate this team as high as going into making things happen this season. What I want to see is, I want to see character this season. I want to see from a tactical standpoint, Ange, how are you improving this season? I want to see players just become better. Like Kulusevski is a prime example. Like, people say that Ange doesn't make players better. Kulusevski is clearly one of the players who's getting better. We signed a couple of young players. Unfortunately, Odegaard, our physio team is killing the man out there in Tottenham Hotspur. Like, he's been out now. I would love to see him. RG Gray, I don't think he gets a lot of opportunities under Ange in the league, in my opinion, but you can clearly see what talent he is every time he plays in the Europa League, and I think he can really work with him. Lucas Berger gets opportunities in Europa League as well. Sometimes he doesn't do well, sometimes he does well, but it comes with being a young player, and I feel like we are just through the phases at the stage where I don't necessarily expect big things, because we've been here before. We've just been here before, like, and you know me, Flawless. Like, I'm not the type of guy who sits here and say keep the manager just for the sake. I want to keep the manager, because I was Nuno out when we was top of the table. Just as a context for people that think, because I've seen people call me like a happy clubber, and are you happy with what's going on at Tottenham? Shit, this has been going on at Tottenham for years. This is no different to what it's been like. So, and we know what it is with the ownership and how we can all have the debates, but I'm here sitting, coming from a mindset of, let's actually try to break a circle. And if it fails, it fails. Cool. But I just want to see something different, because it's hard to stay invested for me. Every season, the manager gets like about 16 to 18 months at Tottenham, gets fired, and we go again. Then a short period, everybody's happy. We might get Champions League here and there, and then it goes back to the same shit again. That's why I say nothing at Tottenham has been consistent. That's what people say. This season's not been consistent. Nothing's been consistent at Tottenham. The only thing consistent is off the pitch. So, look. So yeah, for me, I'm I'm not even like the necessarily biggest like I'm not necessarily the biggest Ange like the people know me as well. Like I'm just being just more balanced, I think, because I can understand certain criticism, which I think he actually has shut down a lot, to be honest. But I can understand at least where people is coming from. Where I just find it a bit boring is that a lot of people who are unsure it's just the same shit. That nothing is original when it comes to their opinions about him needing to leave the football club. Think I just don't think that the manager changes that people want us to see necessarily then all of a sudden make Tottenham better. Like everybody knows me. I've been a Ruben Amorim fan before Ruben Amorim was even like out there known to the people. Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him. But even him, I don't think he comes to Tottenham and that's what people think he would have done, for example. Sebastian Hoeneß, he got his ass just beaten 5-1 by Red Star Belgrade. And this is somebody. Stuttgart.
Oh, geez. He stayed, didn't he? He didn't move, did he?
He stayed, yeah. He got his ass just beaten. I think the day before, Wednesday, 5-1 against Red Star Belgrade. And this is somebody that people want us to get as a football club. And I rate Sebastian Hoeneß. But he's also still a very young manager, so it's kind of like I just feel like a lot of Spurs fans just want the short-term happiness. It's good to just not get bantered because we win in football matches. Everybody rates what we're trying to do, and then we go back to the shell that we've been, and then any sort of adversity, get rid of them. But when I say adversity, it shouldn't be also not sort of thing where we're focusing on the manager, but we should be also focusing on the players on the pitch, on what is like where's the consistency there as well. Like I just don't see consistency for the season. Like I mentioned earlier, I think outside Sa, probably in recent times, Kulusevski and Solanke at times, you can argue they have been performing to at least a 7 out of 10 on a consistent basis. Even if Solanke sometimes doesn't score, maybe you can give them a little bit lower of a rating. That's cool by me. But outside that, who is really consistently performing to that high level? Also, Mick van der Ven as well. Nearly forgot. But also that who's been consistently performing to that high level this season. And I think like we just have to I'm willing to go through just the struggles this season. And look, if you tell me the struggles are we making a decent run in the Carabao Cup, making a decent run in the FA Cup, which I want to see. I want to see this team finally get into later stages of cup competition, just the feeling that they know, okay, we know how to beat these knockout stage type of games.
How to navigate them.
Just to get because we barely. I can't like last time we was there in a semi-final, we got our ass beaten by Chelsea home and away. Ironically under the serial manager. In the last final that we made, we sacked the manager 6 days before the final. So
I thought it was 5 days.
It was 6 days. 6 days. 6 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So man. Like. And also, by the way, if you finish anywhere 5th and 6th, that's a calm season to me. Maybe people overrated our squad and our fan base. Maybe that's why they feel maybe the way we are. Maybe they think if Graham Potter comes in, Tottenham can compete for the league title. I don't know. But this is for them. For me, obviously, Jacob is obviously going to have
but those same people shit on every player we have. Oh, Destiny can't defend. Porro can't defend. The center backs don't have decision making.
But obviously, I'm gonna let you obviously go on that because obviously, I always give my verdict on this. Is that I don't really care what people. If people are unsure, cool. Keep your opinions. All I'm saying is, if you think that this team is just a lot better than it is, cool, man. We're gonna be here back in 12 months then, and let's have this conversation again because I don't think the team is as good as it is. I'm actually give a lot of credit to the manager to the way the team has been performing this season. The goal record from defensive standpoint has actually been decent despite not keeping clean sheet. That's probably an issue. The goal scoring is still there. It's actually a lot better even this season, in my opinion. Like 27 goals in the league, crazy. And we are like 12 games into the season. So yeah, man, we just have to continue. And partly also why I feel so calm is because I just don't rate the Premier League, man. Like, how can you be on 6? How can you be on 6 with 1 draw and 5 losses and you be 6 and 3 points off third place? That shouldn't happen. In a good league, that doesn't happen. I can go through other leagues and look at people's results. You don't kind of have the type of results and be in the areas of the league. But yeah, man, this is currently where I'm at, and I'm probably going to be there at most times for the season, unless it's somehow derails crazy where we go out of every single cup all of a sudden. We are somehow chopping down the table and we can't seem to get a win. then we can have conversations, because then it gets then to a point where maybe you have to look at somebody who can come in and stay in the gym for the rest of the season. But it hasn't been the type of season where you need to sack the managers just to stay the season. I feel like at the end of Conte's era, at the end of Joseph's era, this is the type of situation that, okay, you suck in Joseph because you know it's just not going to end well at the end, and you have to just somebody to get a good feeling to the end of the season and just trying to steady the rest of the season. Same with Conte, but this season so far, I feel it's just a season where people are finally going to see just where the level of Tottenham is currently at. Me personally, and how much progression we just really need at the end of the day. But that's just me though.
That's fair. What are you saying, Jacob? Your thoughts on Ange in versus Ange out? Let people know who may not. Obviously, I know, and some may know, but some may not. So, what's your thoughts on the whole Ange versus Ange out?
I'll answer that.
You've been extremely vocal about this. So, yeah, go on.
My opinion is this: I don't lay in a bed, wake up, and then be like, "Where the sheets aren't made." Well, if I want the sheets made, I'm going to go ahead and make that bed. And I'm not going to complain whilst trying to make the bed.
Such a crazy analogy.
I hope that answers where I'm at with Ange Postecoglou.
It does not make no sense. No.
You
know, my wife was telling me yesterday I had a metaphor.
I'm around Jacob. I'm around Jacob for so long that I kind of understand what he was trying to say to me.
Yo, this is like when I was trying to, for those that don't know, when I was trying to organize the show, and I was messaging Jacob about times that work. So I'm like, what time works for you? Jacob then messages me back. I then messaged Jacob, and even Jacob was confused by Jacob. That was the funny. He's like, what I said there didn't make any sense.
It's like, actually, I read back what I said flawless, and I see how I could have been confusing with the way I worded that. My wife actually yesterday was making fun of me. She's like, you really hit or miss with those sometimes, And it's like, yeah, the worst is when I'm live and there's no one else but me on and there's nowhere to go. I can't hide from it.
I have no idea all right, but carry on, man. Go on, carry on.
I'm 110% Ange Postecoglou in, because I just believe the literal definition of insanity is to continue doing the same fucking thing and expecting some different shit. And that may not be literal the textbook definition, but more or less you can surmise my understanding of the word. Because Conte said it, everyone agreed with him. You can change the manager, but you cannot change the Tottenham unless the Tottenham want to change the Tottenham. Now get me a pizza. He didn't say that last part, but I do agree with it wholeheartedly. Like, I do want a pizza, and you can change the manager, but you can't change Tottenham unless Tottenham wants to change.
What type of pizza?
It depends on my mood. If I need some healthy, I'll get a supreme with no olives.
Okay.
Because pizza can actually, surprisingly, a lot of people may not know this, pizza is surprisingly healthy if you get the veggies on it. Because you're hitting all the groups.
He's eating a healthy pizza. What's going on?
No. Like, you can put some meat on and some vegetables.
Bro, a super. You can.
You want to tell me? I was talking about the chicken and the bob and the. I was talking about the chicken and the beef.
In America, you order supreme pizza. They put like 7 different veggies on it. They put 2 different types of.
I said you can put some meat.
They did straight up just say you can put some meat on that.
It's literally called meat, so it's chicken, not a meat.
Or protein.
It's good protein, but it's still meat.
Yeah. I understand what you meant there, Jess.
So you don't want to put meat on your pizza. Cool, man.
And bro's doubling down.
I'll put meat on my pizza. That's what I'm saying.
If I'm going for a classic pizza to me is pepperoni. But supreme, if I'm feeling healthy, I'm going with a supreme pizza because it's got green peppers, red peppers. It's got all type of veggies and shit. It's very nice. Yeah. And there is also Jez's favorite meat on it, so you can get away with it. There was a point I was making there. Oh, Conte. The fact that Antonio Conte said all this, he likes supreme pizza. and everyone agreed. And then now what we're doing is saying, hey, we're going to stick with a manager, whether the results follow or not is the eventuality what we're hoping to get. But this period is going to be largely unpredictable. Like what we've seen, we've been so unpredictably predictable that it's like we're going to carry on. We don't. And then the fucking wah Ange outers, they'll cry, I peed myself, but I'm not going to change my diaper. You fucking whiny little babies. But they're going to, we lost to Galatasaray and Ipswich. The wheels are falling off. The fucking world is on fire. That's how they're going to treat the situation. And, at least the club right now, the all indications from the club are seeming like Levy is more okay with losing results in the league and then the Cups, in the sense of we are going to invest in what we've actually started a 4-year project on. And people hate the P word. They hate project. They hate process. They hate it all because Arteta kind of ruined that. But I always look at what has been successful outside of Pep Guardiola, the anomaly that is the striking oil, finding the old lucrative dinosaur juice. Outside of that, what has been successful? I look at Liverpool and Klopp. Let me look at his first 2 seasons. How did shit go for that dude in his first 2 seasons? Not great is the answer. And they started eventually getting there. I would like something like that. Now, you could argue that Arteta's good moments have kind of come and passed. That's where I kind of think it is. And he failed to really win anything substantial, thus making Erik ten Hag more successful in the Premier League than him. And he's already gone. He came in after him, left before him, and he's more successful than him. And Arteta can hold that fucking loser.
Fuck Arsenal. I'm with you on that one.
So we win the Carabao Cup this year, FA Cup. You win a Europa League. No one want to meet me. I'll tell you that much. You ain't gonna want to see me, but you'll find me. You won't be able to not see me. Is how it's gonna be. But the Carabao Cup, I need it. I'll take it, and it's something that you can build upon because, like Jez was saying, these players are a bunch of losers, and I agree. Bunch of pussy old losers. They want to put their feet up.
Players, like they just not. What is it that's the players are not doing?
I think individually you could look at them and you could make a case for all of them. I'd take all their asses to court except for Kulusevski. He's the only one that I say, you know what? I appreciate you. And even though we lost that match, I don't think it was anything about you being a bitch. But I look at I start at the top. All right. I start with the biggest beasts on the pitch, and that's Son, and that's Kuti. Those are my top 2, and then Madison. Y'all 3 are the captain, the leadership group, which may or may not be Ange's downfall in the long run, the creation of said leadership group. Because again, I said Harry Kane was a part of the aforementioned leadership group that want to twerk like it's at a Miley Cyrus concert when Dave Portnoy buys him a slice of pizza. Fucking Eric Dyer, Harry Kane, these losers. Oh, let's go golfing. Fuck your golf. Madison is in the same echelon. He was buddy with Kane. Kane goes to Schnitzelville. Then what is he doing? Buddy with whoever else goes and plays golf. You fucking guy. I'm not going to say the other words I wanted to attach to that. So these guys, you're the A, supposed to be the best player out there. B, supposed to be your leader. These goddamn fireworks. Supposed to be the leader. And there's not one match where Romero's worn the armband and I've said, thank you, Romero. You really did it today. It's always like, can you do anything, you fuck? Can you save us? Can you? And instead what he does versus Brighton.
This Romero critique, because you're someone who's a big fan of Romero.
Yeah, but I love my club more than I love any dusty motherfucker who plays for it.
Obviously, the first time we spoke on this season, he's not been at it for you. Has he not been delivering?
So there's wiggle room when you do some stupid shit here and there because you got a little credit in the bank with Papa. Yeah. You know, Papa got a little money to help you bail you out of jail, but motherfucker, my funds, I'm not a millionaire, all right? And when you're fucking going to jail every time, motherfucker, I can't defend you no more. Daddy gonna let you rot in jail. You're gonna have to think about it now. And for me, I can defend you so much until you're wearing that armband and you're the leader on the pitch. You're our best player on the pitch. No Son, no Madison. It's you, Papa. Show me what you can do. And then he's hanging his head when we concede our second and third versus Brighton. That's not good. And then you're
I don't
fucking
know
playing like you're not playing like our best player. That's not good. You're not leading and you're not performing. I hold him to a high standard. Now, last year, he was fucking hitting that standard. He was exceeding my standard. So my love for him was flourishing. But now, that's where you put the bar. And every time it's not quite there. His best performances have been just under that bar that he set. So for me, he's not been good enough this year. He's supposed to be a fucking leader. And it's hard for me to debate the fact that Real Madrid, with the offer, not offer, flirting with him was enough to turn his head. Now, if that's the case, fuck off, get out of here. The sooner the better. And we should have sold you for 100 million or whatever it was. But we were saying 150 million or fuck off. And he was probably like, well, I want to go to Real Madrid where everyone speaks Spanish and no one cares if I go. They'll praise me for clattering into motherfuckers. Where in England, they're, you naughty little boy, don't you dare touch that player. It's like, let him tackle. Let him play the fucking sport. I love a defender in front of me as a keeper. I love a defender in front of me who crunch your ass, make you think twice. Because guess what? Next time you go to shoot, I can see them. They're not just looking at their foot, the ball in my position. They're like, where's he at? Is he going to hurt me? That little doubt is why Erling Haaland can't fucking score versus him. That little doubt is why Ben Davies owns Erling Haaland. Ben Davies, the Welsh Wall. But again, Romero's been poor. Sonny's been poor. Sonny could have made it 3-1, and he shot that thing worse than Timo Werner would have. What excuses are we going to make? I don't like to make excuses for my best players. Son, you are the best player in this fucking planet, in my opinion, because I love you so much. Whether it's true or not is like mommy bias. Mommy thinks you're the best out there because, you know what? She birthed you. And you may be the slowest, fattest fucker on the pitch, but she still thinks you're the best. And that's me with Son. But when you're playing like a dickhead, I can't defend you, son. You're not getting dinner tonight. We're eating KFC. You're eating bologna. How about that? That's not even real meat. It's faux meat. It's like Spam here in America. FDA approved it though. Don't worry. It's healthy. Feed your kids it. It's all good. Man, these fucking players constantly let me down. Fake meat, spam looking motherfuckers.
I've been speaking to Jacob long enough that I understand his analogies.
But you know what the funny part is though? You know what the funny part is? But because we obviously did the show, Chelsea Spurs show, and what Jacob said, I've been saying this all season, no?
Yeah, you have been
saying this
you have been passionate on the players that your better players need to step up. If your better players perform well, you'll win more games. Big up to my guy Eddie in the chat as well.
And I think it's as simple as that. But I feel like a lot of our fans, they think that the code, all fans want us to be Pep Guardiola. They want any man to be Pep Guardiola. Like, you need to make sure that these players, they want our players to coach to that point, to that standard of, okay, the defending. If somebody makes a great block, it's down to Ange Postecoglou. If somebody makes a great goal, it's because of Ange Postecoglou. Everything will be, but where's where we judging the players from an individual standpoint and say, no, we want you to do better. I guarantee you, if at least 5 to 7 Tottenham players were playing to a certain higher level, at least a 6 at bare minimum, or 6 to 7 on a consistent basis this season, we would have such a much better season. I'm talking about being there up there currently with Chelsea and Arsenal in terms of point towards at bare minimum. But because we don't have it, our better players do not step up. It's ironically somebody who Jacob mentioned, like I said time ago, I didn't give up on Kulusevski completely because I still feel like give him at least one more opportunity through the middle. Because I don't think this right wing thing was not it at all for me. Even though he played well against City there, but then even then against City he drifted a lot. But I said give him at least one more chance, and he's playing his best. He's not even playing just his best football currently right now at Tottenham. He's playing his best football currently in his whole career. And I feel like it comes down to the manager, but I feel like if a lot of players in our team would take that type of example, no, I need to go and step up. I need to do this. That's why I think it's great that Madison's getting benched. Obviously, yesterday it was apparently because of a knock, and he didn't try to risk it. So maybe next game against Fulham, he's going to be back in 11. But I like the fact that Madison wasn't playing for these last couple of games because one, obviously, people say Anches was trying to figure out midfielders without him. But I think that's right. But I think partly it comes also down to the fact that, and it's sending a message of, I need you to start locking in. You're supposed to be one of the leaders of this team. If we want to be successful this season, if we want to have a great season, And this is somebody from coming from me that is very critical of Madison for some time now. But I'm sitting here saying, thinking that this move is to get you locked in. We need you because I can even sit here, regardless of how much I criticize Madison from a football aspect of things. He's one of the better footballers, even in the Premier League, I would think.
Absolutely.
But we need you. But we need you to be of a certain level to begin with, so we can start having you out there on the pitch. So I feel like this is just important. I think it's just really important that the better players step up. For Romero, I've been saying this, man. This season it's been poor, man, and I do think partly has to do with the fact, sadly, that Real Madrid is in his mind. I really do think Real Madrid is in his mind, because I feel like
have turned his head.
I think they turned his head because his play from last season compared to this season is so different. At times it's just sometimes it's like he's not even in the game, which is weird. Like one thing Romero will do at least. One thing Romero you would think so is that, okay, I'll go and cut up somebody in the team. It's just to know that I'm here in the game. He may get a yellow. He might get away with the yellow, but you can see, okay, yeah, he's trying to cut. Like I can't remember the last time he's trying to do that this season. And I'm somebody who said, oh, yo, Romero, chill out. This season, I'm asking, yo, why are you not doing it a lot more? And I feel like sometimes he's just phased out of the season. I'm looking at it to a point where I feel like I can argue that Ben Davies and Radu had more better performances this season at centre back than you.
It's like that.
You can argue that he's been the worst centre back at the football club this season. Probably in order of from Mickey, you can choose between Ben Davies and Radu for second. Obviously, you switched in, and then Romero last. And this is just a bad indication, because you're supposed to be one of the leaders in this leadership group with you, Modest, and Son. And ironically, all three of you shown less leadership qualities even than Kulusevski, who most of the fan base wanted out at the football club. So when you have these type of problems where players don't either step up or you don't show this level of qualities, it's how can you be consistent? How can you be a great side in the Premier League? How can you be a great side in football? And I feel like that's why I feel like this team just lacks character. That's what I love. Like you can see Kulusevski's like, he has a certain character about him. Like you see him for Sweden, like talking to to his team, like, yo, he's already captain out there for Sweden as well, and he's talking about, yo, I'm hungry, let's eat. Cooked in that game too, and then comes back and he's been cooking as well then since he's came back from the international break. So I feel like it's a lot of combinations with leaders not being the actual leaders on paper are not being the leaders. The better players not stepping up. I'm looking also even at somebody like Udogie at times, but I feel like, where's the Udogie from last season? I don't think he's been bad this season, but I don't think he's been to the level at the level that you've been. And this is, I keep saying, it's really simple as that. If the better players show up, we will be better. I think Solanke has done a lot this season to help the attack, to be honest, but it's still not good enough. And we just can't. It's great to come down to Postecoglou for getting us to score goals, but it's still not good enough. Like it needs to be still better. We're still trying to figure out the midfield dynamics. Bentancur, I'm not really 100% sure if this is the long-term solution at the number 6. I don't know how you feel, Jacob.
Bissouma, well, he ain't gonna be playing in the Premier League, so it ain't a solution to anything.
But this current time definitely. And Bissouma, he can have great games, but it's the lack of discipline in his game. It's so bad.
It's so obvious. Like, he is. And it's going to sound crazy when I say this, but maybe some people will pick up what I'm putting down.
It's definitely going to sound crazy.
Bro could be Paul Pogba if he fucking wanted to. If he cared enough. If these goddamn whipped cream canisters weren't a part of culture in the UK, or kids in America too do it, the fucking whipped can shit. What's wrong with the goddamn kids?
I'm a big fan of Bissouma. I think he is a talented player.
Bro, but he'd be huffing them balloons, and the motherfucker looked like a dude who be huffing the fucking balloons. And you know what? Every dude I've ever known who did that shit when we were younger, you can't rely on them today. You say, hey, can you pick me up? I'll be there in 15 minutes. Oh, I just spaced out. It was 27 minutes. I'll be there. You fucking balloon head. That's why they call them balloon heads. And it's like, I love Bissouma. When we signed him, I bought the ugly ass number 38 shirt that he wore, because I was like, fuck yeah, we finally got him. The good, like this is a signing I've been wanting for at least 2 seasons. I've been saying we need to get this guy. We get him. Conte's like, fuck you, Bissouma. And Bissouma's like, wah, wah. And then they never really have a good tenure. And then you think, okay, maybe he could do some underage. And first 10 games, I was like, wow, Wow, we really did it, ladies and gentlemen. We fucking
the
made
guy
it
that
out
we
the mud.
thought we was getting, man.
And then he just inconsistent, unreliable. You know what that reminds me of? Fucking druggy losers I went to high school with. You can't rely on them for shit. Oh, you're great at that. Let's do that one more time on the basketball court. Oh, you were inhaling a balloon yesterday and now you're not as sharp on the court? It makes sense.
And speaking of Romero, shouts to Pels. Pels, hope you get. You said Spurs fans told me Romero was the best in the league after
Yeah, I
DVD.
was. That was me.
World Cup winner in that.
That was one of those.
The thing is, though,
I was one of those, and he is still a World Cup winner.
That's true.
But that's the one thing I do say though. It's like I do think he was one of the best players in the league, to be honest, at some point in terms of when he was playing great. But now, like I mentioned earlier, I think Real Madrid is really in his mind, and obviously next summer he's gonna have 2 years left in his contract. So
how come Porro playing better when Real Madrid's flirting with him?
Which is the crazy part about it. Which is why, despite the criticism I have for Paul, I look at Paul and say, you're trying to leave everything out there on the pitch.
And he spoke about it. This is part of my issue with Romero as well. Because when it happened, Porro immediately went out and said, and he addressed it on his publicly and privately, saying, yes, obviously as a Spaniard, when Real Madrid are flirting with you, it's like the cream of the crop. But I'm here at Tottenham. My focus this year is with Tottenham, and that's all I care about. He said that even when he went to Spain, and he didn't even get to play with Spain in the Euros because he got left out because he had a shitty second half of the season last year. He wasn't very good, so he got left out of the squad. But now Carvajal's hurt. I think they got another injury, so he's kind of forced to play. And he was their best player the last international break. But even then, on international break with Spain, who literally own Madrid. It's the government. They're the federales. They're the fucking big brother. When you're wondering who's watching you through your webcam while you shower, it's Real Madrid. It's Spain. These are the fucking people.
Don't have a webcam anywhere near you while you're showering, by the way. Just
man.
Unless that's how you make your money, no shame.
That is true. Unless it is how you make your money. Do your thing, make your bread. As long as you're not harming no one and you morally.
But if you're in Spain and you're wondering why that little green light is next to, why is that little green light on next to my? Okay, it's Real Madrid. They're watching you. They're seeing if you have a 13-year-old Brazilian that maybe they can scout. But back to Romero, when it happened. He didn't say shit. He still ain't said shit. He just had a baby and it never happened. It never happened. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Real Madrid. It was like what it reminded me of was Kane when those goddamn Schnitzel people came to town and Kate Kane and the young Canes, baby Canes running around the house having Schnitzel with Uli Hoeneß and the fucking Bayern Munich fucks. No. And Kane didn't say nothing about it. That year he almost went to City. He didn't say nothing about it. He never spoke about it. It's like, I'm not the kind of guy that you just do shit like that and I'm just, you never said anything about it, therefore I'm not going to pull you up on it. No, motherfuckers don't associate with me because I pull up everybody.
And Tapels, no, he was talking solely football. I didn't know where he was going, but he saved it. He was talking football when he said the Brazilians. So he moved. But he was. I thought he was going into a wild place, Jacob.
No, like Hendrick. How did they find that dude?
Hendrick.
Where did he come from?
Right. You don't need to go back there. I'm just clarifying that you didn't. That's what you meant. That's all. You saved it because even I
told you when you were putting this show together, I said you may need a more specific banner than your just generic banner that you throw out there when people say outlandish
right
things.
Here. Look already on deck.
There you go. See, there you go.
Yeah, it's a good point that Jacob mentions. Like even with the Paul at international points, I forgot about it as well. And one thing I'm somebody here who sits here and say that, but I don't care if my players don't necessarily learn English, for example. But I'm here, for example, Paul is like you can tell, like of course, like I'm not stupid. If Real Madrid comes calling, majority of the players in this world go to Real Madrid. But you can see with Paul, he's clearly happy here at Tottenham. So even if Real Madrid goes, and if Real Madrid comes and he wants to go there, I can't blame it. But one thing, at least a bare minimum, is respect the football club. Because this is something that Romero is clearly not doing. It's something that Mr. Tottenham, Harry Kane, was clearly not doing. Doing interviews with Gary
for
Neville.
Nuno, the dickhead. I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
And a lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people don't talk about it when it comes to Kane. And I feel like for me, a lot of people don't want to talk about it either. They want to say, it's just a bad form. No.
There's got to be a reason, and for me, like, bro had a baby, and then he had one of his best years for us. Now he has his next baby, and you could argue it's up there with like the worst that we've seen him here. And it's really disappointing because everyone knows how much I really appreciate Romero and how highly I rate him. But again, when you reach a certain standard and you fail to meet that standard going forward, I'm gonna pull you up on it because it's like my wife, you know, for instance, when we were married the first 2 years, oh baby, don't worry, I'll cook and clean for you. Now, 7 years down the road, it's why don't you clean after yourself? Why don't you cook for yourself? You never cook for us. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you know the standard in which the standard.
Your wife deserves the absolute world for dealing with you for 7 years. Yo, give
the
that
standard
woman every diamond, gold, silver, platinum, everything. She deserves the moon.
But the standard that was set in the first 2 years is not the same standard being upheld now.
Jacob, I don't know you, but you might never see this, but salute to you for dealing with Jacob for 7 years. That's all I'm going to say on that. You deserve the world.
That's a long time.
You deserve the world.
Damn, you deserve the world. Do this? See,
that's what I'm going to say.
Joe Jacob, because I can relate to that because it's probably the same thing with me. Probably if I get to that stage, man. Yeah, man. Like, I've been.
It's like now I gotta grow as an adult and a human because she pampered me for 2 years. What's this?
Yeah, because she wanted to help you get there, and it's like, all right, then you have to. You know what I'm saying? She held your
hand. That is exactly what she said. That is exactly what she said. That's crazy.
You would have thought that she's helping you, she's holding your hand, walking, but eventually she got to let.
She's like, but at some point you're supposed to.
Yes, I know this. Hey, so Mr. Jacob, salute to you. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's actually crazy that you said the same shit because we've had this conversation in ad nauseum.
I'm sure you have.
Like, I expected at this point you would want to eat your vegetables. You would take the initiative. That word initiative pissed me off like no other. I was wanting you to show the initiative to clean the dishes before you go to bed. I showed the initiative to grind in FIFA. That's my initiative. You did. The initiative to get these objectives done. That's what.
But you've shown that when in your great streams. And speaking of that, United Spurs of America, the link's in the title, people. So click the link in the title, subscribe to Jacob's channel as well. I think like we pretty much covered everything in regards to Spurs recently before we obviously get predictions from everyone. But this is obviously United's and Spurs. So you lot get any final few questions in. But Jez, your thoughts on United and what you've seen in Amorim's first couple games and everything that's going on.
Yeah, anything that to be honest, I expect from a manager that comes in mid-season and you don't really have your own players, so you don't know the players like that. You don't have enough training sessions as well, so you're just trying to get down the basics first, and just like when you're trying to teach a baby how to walk, that type of thing. I'm looking at it. And so if things don't necessarily go as best as you would wish to see it, you're trying to take the progression each game. How does it look from the last game? Obviously, it went the way it went. I didn't watch your game against Elfsborg. I did say they're gonna be a tricky team that I thought United was gonna beat them, but it's not a team that necessarily gets rolled over in Europe in generally. So I didn't watch the game, but I would imagine it was better than to the Ipswich game. And this is what you would expect. And with Ruben Amorim, like I said, I've been an admirer before. A lot of people even knew who he was. Mm-hmm. So I expected to just see the things that he's bringing to the United, to be honest. So I'm not surprised that I'm just surprised at the way the United fans been talking about him. I'm not surprised because I just know that he is a quality manager, and I think it's just building steps, to be honest, at this stage, and just trying to navigate throughout the rest of the season. And yeah, like I would just say I'm what I'm seeing is what I expected. There's players who's not good enough. Certain players missing chances. I mean, shout out to Maserati, man. Shout out to Maserati because
Maserati's been balling out. I called him on the wrong. He's been balling out.
I've been saying this I was saying this there how going when you get inside them, it's like I thought he was always a good player, but I didn't expect him to be performing like this, this. Like I've seen him before. Did he play right side of centre back?
He did.
So yeah, it's kind of like where I had my prediction. How does he really look at him as a wing back? I don't think so. But you know what? The right side of the centre back thing looks
He
comfortable.
might, you know what? He might do Jazz. It's just because we got so many injuries in centre. But you
Fair,
got no centre backs. It might
enough
be.
then,
You could
yeah.
be right. Once everybody's back fit, like Euro, Lindelof, Maguire, we'll find out. But there's hella injuries. Literally,
Yeah, but even then,
Casemiro ended up playing centre back yesterday.
but even then, you look how comfortable he looks at the right side of the centre
Oh, he's
back
a bad
for
boy,
him,
right sided centre back.
and he looks comfortable there. And obviously everybody knows my allegiance to Bundesliga and Dortmund and that. So you know what, Bayern hold up because Bayern. People don't know how that literally how he got forced out of Bayern. It's literally because he put it up a post on IG saying pretty much free Palestine pretty much. Bayern said nah, take that down, and ever since he fell out with the ball, United got him for a bargain. I mean, Maserati in this same, by the way, perfect example what we always talk about scout profiles not named, because in the same window Maserati went for the same amount of money as Emerson went to AC Milan. I mean, Chelsea AC Milan. Chelsea and AC Milan. They got the greatest right back of all time. But it just shows this example how much good recruitment and how much good scouting actually does to a football club instead of just splashing money on money on money. And I think he's a prime example. Like I thought you would expect that most people expect out of the two Bayern boys, De Ligt is gonna be the guy who's gonna stand out. And De Ligt has been good, but it's not like to the level where I feel like oh my days like one of the best centre backs in the league. Massaro, you can argue, has been one of the better players in the league this season. Like not players, not even just in his position.
Yeah,
players.
definitely, 100%. He's been the best. Like I said, value for money signing. He's been the best. Easy.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So just again, it's Amorim. I think it's just a building block. It's just a progression. You're just trying to be better at what you've been compared to under the last level there. And yeah, man. Let's see how you guys do going into the weekend. You know.
First. And big up Jose for the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, how do you feel about Xerxes for David Luiz swap in January? What is that? What we've been? I don't know. Is that something that's been?
I didn't see anything about that. To be honest,
is that something from a credible source or something like that? Nah, I wouldn't, because we don't need as well. We do need midfielders, but if we won't sign anything in January, it's attackers. Need a striker, even if it's on loan. We need something to get us through till the end of the season.
Listen, would you take Koulibaly? Because I've seen United get linked to him.
I did see us get linked to Koulibaly. Absolutely not. Keep that man as far away from the football club as possible. I am not trying.
One of your old talismans there is tearing it up in Italy.
Who?
Shmukaku.
Oh, is it? Yeah, he can stay there too. Where is he at? He's at Napoli, right?
Napoli. He's stomping on motherfuckers right now.
I'll say he went back to Papa, and the rest is history.
He can stay in Serie A, man. That's what he can do. You know what I'm saying? He can stay in Serie A. I'm cool with that. But Jose, big up for the super chat.
Is there something to be said that Serie A talent doesn't translate necessarily that great in the Premier League?
Different league. It's the pace of the league. That's the major difference.
I can't, Dragusin came from Serie A. He struggled for a while. Kulusevski, Bentancur both struggled for minutes. But
Dogi came from there, right?
Yeah, Dogi came.
Yeah, but now he's not doing that great. He had a great first year, but now he's kind of.
I do think with Dogi, it impacts the fact that he had the surgery and the Dominance Club didn't buy a backup left back, so he can just actually chill out.
He has. And there's also no one pushing him for his job. It's Archie Gray, a pseudo backup fullback, maybe Jed Spence if he's not hurt. But it's like there's no one pushing him. When you're a young kid and you're coming back from a surgery, you're not being pushed to the same level as when you're first 12 months at a club. You know, you're trying to impress. You're trying to really hit the ground running. And he did. For a lot of fans, really, really enjoyed what he did last year. Then you're right, Jez. He did have surgery at the end of last year, which – is interesting because we didn't fucking even know he was hurt until he posted a photo from the hospital bed, I'll be back. It's
that was funny, though. The football club tried to hide that.
Did you get hit by a car?
What do you mean by that? We got surgery, bro.
He's laid up. He's like, surgery was a success, guys. The fuck? You were playing 24 hours ago. The same thing with Vicario, but this time the club actually announced it before the hospital photo came out. So we're learning.
But you're right though with the Dogi. Before you go close, but you're right with the Dogi. I do think he lacks the competition. I feel like if he has somebody there at left back to compete, not a backup, somebody who actually goes there and compete with him, it pushes him to also be a better player. Because if you're sitting there and say, hold on a second, I can play whatever I want to play, even if I play shit. Cool. Even if I play shit, it doesn't matter.
Look
I'm
what
getting
happened
my
with
money.
Madison. You play shit,
Literally.
whole bench, cry more, pussy.
But
And then guess what? He comes back. He said, "Happy birthday, ho!" And then he had a birthday brace.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
now
I almost forgot as well. Vicario injury, 4-star. I know
Yeah.
we mentioned it slightly earlier, but yeah, we'll go to you, Jacob. How impactful do you see that being, and how long is he actually out for, Vicario?
They say 10 weeks, which is effectively 3-4 months.
Okay.
And my initial feelings on it, you know, the meme of the guy that's like, he's got the bleach. He's like, ah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, whoa, I'm gonna jump off the I'm gonna jump off the balcony. Yeah, that was me for about 24 hours, I would say. So it was just like, cool. I was feeling great. I can't fucking ever have anything fucking good. Ever. We're doing good. Fuck you. Now you're starting keeper. The guy who made sure we kept a clean sheet, he's gone. Okay, news to me. It's just every year it's fucking this and fucking that. I'm looking at the injury list right now and I'm like, what even changed? This looks similar to fucking 12 months ago on the date. And I don't even know what the fuck we were just talking about. I just getting depressed thinking about Vicario hurt, everyone getting hurt. It's like everyone everywhere is hurt for every club. Everyone is hurt. There's too many damn games.
Nah, you know what's crazy? My team's the complete opposite. Everyone back to full fitness. Everyone's fit.
But like I look, Real Madrid are missing so many players that getting hurt. Yeah. Motherfuckers, every game you look, there's 6 people leaving with injuries. Konate got hurt. Liverpool, I've kept saying they are great. Yes, they're fantastic. 1-2 injuries, their shit's getting fucked. And guess what? Same thing happened to Arsenal. Shit got fucked when Odegaard, Rice, and all these people start going. You start losing 1, 2, 3 pieces. Shit ain't easy as 1, 2, 3. Fucking Sia, is that who did that 1, 2, 3 song? Shout out Sia.
It's 1, 2, 3 step. It was Ciara. It was.
I think it's Ciara.
Yeah.
Let me see you 1, 2 step.
It was Ciara, man.
Everybody get on. We about to end it. Yeah. Shout out Sierra. Mrs. Westbrook. Or no, not Mrs. Westbrook. Mrs. Wilson.
Yeah, Mrs. Wilson. Yeah.
Even though Future wrote a whole album about what he did to that poor young woman. Russell Wilson said, "Don't worry, I got you, boo." I don't mind my Oreos broken at the end of the bag, is what he said.
Pel's right, man. Everything is fine at Chelsea. Also, everything is fine at Chelsea. Yeah, she's right. Like Rechain's been always injured. But he's always injured. So that's like Rechain's been injured. Is like it's like water is wet. Like you know, so I would say everything is fine, but but we had injuries, bro. Shit, like I looked at our injury list. Like, I didn't deep it was that big. I didn't deep because I looked at our bench yesterday, and outside Madison, and probably Bissouma. Like I saw somebody called Jeff Hardy on the bench. But bear in mind, his first name wasn't Jeff, but
it's Malachi. Malaki.
I think it's Malachi.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I saw that 16-year-old on the bench, I thought Ange, because that's his middle name is Hardy. I thought Ange put himself on the bench. Said, "Fuck it, bro. I'm gonna go out there and ball if I got to." Because we're running out. The academy's like, we don't have children to field teams because the first team's taking them all to Europe. Fucking Mason King. Who the fuck is that? I've never heard. I watched the academy. Malachi Hardy. I was like, okay, that's a 16-year-old. Let me see Mason King.
You watch the Tottenham under 21s, right?
Yeah, and U18s. Well, they don't broadcast all their games, but the ones that they do broadcast, I do watch. And I know Callum Olusesi. He actually captains U18 for England. He's a captain, so like. Olusesi, like that's fine. Luca Williams-Barnett, I've heard of him because again, these kids are traveling to Europe because we're fucking running out of bodies. But Malachi Hardy, 16-year-old, he's 6'3", some shit like that. He's a big motherfucker. They're just squad fillers, man. We're struggling. I hope in January we put Jed Spence on the Europa squad. In fact, bro, even Reguilon at this point, we're falling apart. Get Reguilon back. He's just a training cone at this point.
Right.
They asked that one of the first European trips. It's like, Spence and Reguilon are here, and neither one of them are in the Europa squad. What's that? He's like, yeah, these we brought them to, and some of the academy kids because we need to keep our training levels up. So we needed people to train against. He said he's a training cone. He's a cone. You stand there. It's fucking sad.
That being said, let me get predictions from you two before we close out as well. So Jacob, will start with you. Obviously, Tottenham got 2 games before we do the next show, and every Friday 11 p.m. this will be every Friday 11 p.m. UK,
Europa League, and then the weekend game.
Malachi, that's his name, Malachi Hardy.
Right, so Tottenham versus Fulham. Jacob, scoreline prediction.
I'm saying a 2-1, maybe a 1-1. It's going to be Fulham last year got 6 points on us. Fulham last year, everyone told me how sexy, scintillating, and sensual their manager was, and how they'd prefer him because his waistline is not as big as Ange Postecoglou.
They did say that.
Yeah, they did say that. They were glazing him up, bro. It was like, all right, I get it. They're good, but they've also got Adama Traore, which he causes problems. He's a X factor, if you will. I've often said it, and I'll say it more. Adama Traore is an X factor. Flawless. You remember this last year? He comes back from injury, put something on Eric Ten Hag's bald head. But be that as it may,
that's crazy, man.
Fulham, I think they're a good side. I think Marco Silva's a bitch, but he's a good manager. Their form in the last 5 games been similar to ours, kind of meh, a little a little but fuck them, bro. It's Fulham. The first time I ever heard of him was I said, Clint Dempsey,
Jacob,
where does he play? Fulham?
I just need a scoreline prediction, mate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Let him learn.
You said a Fulham? Nah, fuck the ham, bro. Fuck the ham. Give me a Tottenham. Shout out Clint Dempsey. Shout out Clint Dempsey. Craven Cottage, bro. No one eats cottage cheese. The only time I ever seen people out there in that side of London talking about cottage cheese is on their missus' back of their thighs. That cellulite, looking like a goddamn opening a cottage cheese Ripley. They've got a fucking reflection of the sun rays bouncing off them ripples like a goddamn lake water, and it's got the little, you throw a stone in the lake, it's got the little score prediction versus Fulham. It is at our ground. Fuck the Craven Cottage. Fuck their cottage up, bitch, is what I said.
Fuck the club up. Fuck the club up. That's it.
Yeah, fuck the club up. Hey, fuck the club. Fuck Craven Cottage. Fuck Fulham. Fuck that part of the town. Again, Clint Dempsey owns your bitch ass. Scoreline a 2-1. I'll go with a 2-1.
Thank you. Jez, Tottenham versus Fulham. Scoreline.
Jacob's the 8th that I wanted to say, so I say as well 2-1 Tottenham.
All right, staying with you because you play midweek Thursday away at Bournemouth. What are you saying, Jez?
Away at Dortmund. They gave everybody a game out there at the what's the stadium name? Vitality Stadium or some shit?
Vitality.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they gave everybody a game from Chelsea, from Man City. Yeah, so that's gonna be actually a tough game. So I would say probably, I'll say a 2-2 out there.
2 apiece. Jacob, what are you saying?
2 goals by Sri Lanka, by the way. Be coming back to getting our revenge, man.
Away at Bournemouth, Jacob. What are you saying?
Away at Bournemouth. What do you do when you go to the cherry orchard, huh? You pluck the cherries and you eat them? You pluck them, you wash them, then you eat them? Or you just say, oh, look, I'm going to admire the cherries like Man City. Oh, like Chelsea. Come on, man. What the fuck you think we're going to do when we go to Vitality Stadium? That dusty ass. I see more murals on the wall than fans in the seats. When I look at Vitality Stadium, talking about cherries. Michael B. Jordan, he ain't saving shit. He needs to go back to Wakanda movie series because this ain't no goddamn happy ending at fucking Bournemouth where he's at, all right? If you didn't know, Michael B. Jordan's an actor. He played in the Marvel's Wakanda. He has a minority share in the cherries. He designed their ugly ass kit, that third kit they got. He designed that ugly, atrocious. What the fuck kind of collar is that? Have you ever seen the collar look so ugly on a shirt? Like, I normally don't even like the collars, but like a normal collar would actually look better on that shit shirt. Michael B. Dusty ass. Anyway, they're really good. I think they're a good team. They've given them some really good troubles to some really good teams. But again, we fucked up Pep and Man City. So if that's any barometer to go off of, fuck them. I'm eating cherry pie tonight, baby. Or I guess Thursday night. What else can I say about them fucking cherries? She's my cherry pie.
We want to pop them cherries. That's what we want to do.
Hey, yo,
No, with what I said earlier about Real
Oh.
Madrid and in Spain, I'm just going to stay away from that.
True,
Right.
true.
Scoreline prediction, my friend.
Oh yeah. That was the question. Bro, fuck him. 4-2. Dominic Solanke hat trick.
4-2 Spurs.
Yeah.
Bro, he's like this. I'm used to this dusty ass picnic table eating cherry pie on a hot summer day. This ugly ass stadium. He used to eating there.
I may regret
And
this.
also Dominic, the agenda. He only scores against shit teams. Well, look at Bournemouth. All right, you better score, motherfucker.
That being said, I may regret this, but Jacob, let them know what you've got coming up and where they can find you on United Spurs of America and all that good stuff.
What I've got coming up, you don't want to know. All right, because when you find out, it's going to be too late. And that's the whole league. I'm telling you, watch out. If flawless, you're going to find out in January when you fucking come down to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and we do what we done did to you. But the last time we done did that to you, it was Clint Dempsey, Gareth Bale.
Now we
But
playing you
now,
December. We playing you December.
Timo Werner, Richarlison, watch out.
Yeah, we're playing you December. Remember Carabao Cup?
I thought it was January.
Nah, it's December. It's like December. What's the date? Yeah,
I mean,
19th
mid-December. Yeah,
19th.
mid-December.
Oh, it is the
We'll be
19th.
there, man. We gonna get our get back. We gonna see you. We like, oh, we owe you.
Why did I think that was in January? I don't know why. Anyway,
Yeah.
score predict. Wait, was the score? No, wait. What I got coming up?
Yes, United Spurs of
I don't
America
fucking
on-
know. I was supposed to record
Right.
something today, but I didn't do it.
People, subscribe to United Spurs of America. Make sure you support Jacob. You know what I'm saying? Hit the notification bell as well over there, especially if you're a Spurs fan. Now you not entertain people.
I'll
Big
upload
up
something tonight or tomorrow for sure.
Love that, man. That's what I'm talking about. But people, we are going to redirect over to the shows don't stop. NBA courtside commentary podcast, people. So any NBA fans, you want to head over there. So it's literally going to take you from this stream directly over there. I'm going to click go live in a second as well. Jez, anything you want to add on this monumental first show? Even though it's kind of like it's a new show, but it's a spin-off, but we're here anyway, people. United and Spurs. I know some people that like Chelsea and Spurs being together.
It's like
Nah,
when
they both got
Simpsons
their-
joins Family Guy, you know?
Yeah, exactly like that. Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Big up, Crate to pilot this new show. Obviously, it's not totally new, but it's new because of new pilots as well, and it's not the scam no more. So we
Yeah,
all
fuck
good.
else,
Just
energy
straight.
on that.
This is the London allegiance that we're talking about, man. Man United and Spurs right here. So
Facts, man. Let's go. We out here.
come on, man. So yeah, man.
European heritage.
I don't think you guys will see me out there for the upcoming one, the stream upcoming, because I'm tired as hell. Literally was at the hospital earlier, but
Where did you good from, man?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's just that I just need some rest. But even after this one, you're doing the Oklahoma Lakers game later as well. In the paper.
Yes, I'm doing the Lakers
Yeah,
game.
the people that at 3 a.m. You might see me there. Where the Oklahoma go and visit the crypto arena where they play the Lakers in the NBA Cup, Emirates Cup. So yeah, like that's like the content never stops, man. So yeah, man, just
The
support
content
the
never
channel, man.
stops.
Support the channel.
And make sure you subscribe to Beijing Reds TV. Big up my bro Beijing Pops. Pops, hope you're good, man. Bless up every single time. Big up to everyone that's tapped in. I will create a playlist for this show as well. So the United Spurs show, this one, Man United Pod, talking at Tottenham Talk, and the show that was before this, the United Chelsea show, Man United Podcast, Ballers at the Bridge Podcast. I'm going to create playlists for both, and you'll get this show 11 p.m. UK time every Friday. The United Chelsea show will be 9 p.m. every Friday. 9 p.m. UK time every Friday. But people, NBA is that's where we're heading right now, to the Courtside Commentary Podcast. So we're going to redirect straight over there. But before you do that, hit the like button here. Make sure you subscribe. And as soon as you redirect, you hit the like button over there as well on that one. And big up to Silent Violence Forever says, big up the host in the chat. Respect from Trinidad and Tobago. Big up, man. Big up all my Trinidadians in the cut. Big up all my Bajans, all the people in all the Caribbean islands. And from wherever you are watching, people, big up, man. Love to everyone that's locked in.
Trinidad
Listen,
and Tobago, fun fact, effectively ended the fun little run that US was on for a while there. We were like, woo, we're so fun. Love soccer, baby. Soccer. And then it was like, Trinidad and Tobago, that's not fair. We got to play two countries. Two countries versus one. That's just not fair.
It's hold that. It's Tobago, by the way, Jake. Big up the guys.
Oh, Trinidad and Tobago. We had to play both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's crazy work, man. It's crazy work. But love, big up to everyone that's tapped in. See you lot in a couple for the NBA podcast courtside commentary. But this has been the Manchester United Tottenham Hotspur podcast, Man United podcast, meets Talking That Tottenham Talk podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Ange Postecoglou.
And see you in a couple
Ange
minutes.
Postecoglou.